Hello everyone, welcome to Future Friday. Future Friday is a new tutorial series that I'm starting, and every Friday I'll walk you through one powerful feature in SOLIDWORKS, what it does, how to use it, and why it matters. Whether you're new to CAD or looking to sharpen your skills, these quick, focused tutorials will help you design smarter. Let's dive in. So for the first Feature Friday feature, I've chosen Boss-Extrude. I know Boss-Extrude is a pretty common tool that we all know. You might say it's a basic tool, everyone must know this. But there are some hidden features inside Boss feature. Let's explore them. When you click on Boss feature, there are multiple things that comes up. First, I'm going to select the sketch that I've now selected the sketch to extrude. Now we know that there's direction 1, there is direction 2, and thin feature. Like, if you are a beginner, you're concentrating more on just direction 1 and direction 2, and basically you'll be concentrated on the blind feature itself. So now I'm going to tell you there are multiple things inside the Boss feature itself. So it's not just blind and sketch plane that you see. There are multiple things in from, multiple things in blind. So what are they? So from is nothing but from where your sketch is being extruded. Now as you can see now, it's selected sketch plane. So wherever my sketch is at, from that particular plane, the feature will be extruded. And as you can see, there are 4 options: surface, vertex, and offset. Surface is nothing but, now previously the option was sketch plane. So wherever my sketch was, my extrusion would start from there. So if you select surface or plane, you have to give the particular sketch a surface to tell from where you want it to extrude, right? As you can see here now, I've selected this particular plane. Now my sketch is being extruded from that plane, and it doesn't have to be a plane. You can either select a plane or a face or anything. Now let's say I select this particular face. It's a curved face, but still my sketch is being extruded from that particular face, and it acquires the particular shape of the plane when I select it. As you can see now, my extrusion is also a little bit curved. I can even select, it doesn't matter what what face I select. Like, I can even select this particular face. All it matters is it has to be in the same, you need a face to select. As you can see here now, my extrusion has a different type of extrusion. It's totally different, and it's nothing similar to the one we saw earlier. I can either select this face, it doesn't matter what face, but the thing is, I cannot select this face because now the face that I've selected is perpendicular to the sketch that there is. So there is no way my sketch can project onto this particular face. That's why I cannot select the faces or planes which are perpendicular to my sketch, right? I can select any faces that are parallel or almost parallel to the sketch plane or the sketch, but I cannot select any perpendicular faces or planes, as you can see here. Instead, if I select this face, now I'm gonna get the extrusion. That's one thing. And the second thing is vertex. Vertex is nothing but, you just have to select the word. It's similar to surface or plane. Instead of selecting a surface or a plane, you're selecting a vertex. That's it. That's the only difference that there is. And coming to the last option, that is offset. From offset is nothing but, now we know our sketch is starting from the sketch plane, but let's say I want it to start at an offset of 10, 20, 30 mm. You just need to mention that in the offset column. Let's say I want my sketch to start extruding from 10 mm. I just need to give it an offset of 10 mm. If I want to reverse the direction, I don't need to give -10, -20 because that's not possible. As you can see here, it's not possible. It doesn't take signs. So all you need to do is just click on this arrow button. When you click on that, that's nothing but the reverse direction button. So click on the reverse direction button, your direction will be reversed. That's what offset is. And that's all is there in from. Coming to direction 1 and direction 2, there are multiple options again. Blind, through all, up to next, up to vertex, up to surface, offset from surface, up to body, and mid plane. Mid plane is very common thing. As you know, mid plane, what it does is it extrudes on both the side. If I say 500, the overall, if I say 50, the overall extrusion will be 50, but the extrusion is going to start from the mid plane. So it's basically 25 mm on one side, 25 mm on the other side. If I say 10, 5 mm on the one side, 5 mm on the other side. It's not 50 mm on one side, 50 mm on the other side. It's not total 100. It's basically the total dimension that you're giving here. So when I say 500, it's 250 on upside, 250 on negative y side. That's what mid plane is. So it's basically a symmetrical extrusion. If you start any sketch from mid plane and you want to extrude on both the sides, this is the best option. You don't have to select direction 2 or and give the same extrusion on both sides. So the next is through all. Through all is nothing but what it does is it doesn't matter what objects you have in between your first and last objects. Let's say you have a solid body perpendicular to the sketch, parallel to the sketch at some point like this, and you have multiple solid bodies in between. So what it's going to do is it's going to go through all the solid bodies. It doesn't matter how many solid bodies are in between the first and the last. Basically, it's going to go through all the solid bodies to get to the last particular solid body. That's all through all is. For example, now as you can see here, this is my first, this is the sketch plane and this is the last solid body. Now, when I gave through all, this particular extrusion ended at that particular solid body, right? Now, how to show that it ended at that particular solid body is basically if I, I'm gonna right click this, and then what I'll do is I'll go a step back and then I'll thicken one of these surfaces, right? Now, when I come back, my extrusion is still at the last solid body. So that's how I know it doesn't matter what solid bodies are in between. And the best thing is now this solid body has, this has combined with the last solid body, but it will not combine with any other solid bodies that it finds in between the first and the last. So you don't have to worry about, making sure it's combining with the solid body that you want. So it won't combine with any other solid body. Now, even if when I give all solid bodies, then it will combine with whatever that's in between. But if you don't, then you're safe. And I'll delete this for now, and I'll also delete the thicken. Now the next option is, okay, we know through all, up to next. Up to next is again similar to through all, but it's gonna do it till the next solid body that it finds. Again, solid body, okay, not face or surface or plane, it's a solid body. So up to next, like I can see here that it's being extruded till here. Now when the difference between up to next and the through all is going to go till the end of the body. Up to next will only stop as soon as it finds the solid body. It will not go to the next extreme surface, but it will only stop at the first surface that it finds of a solid body. Now, to show that how it works, what I'll do is again I'll go back a step and I will thicken the first surface that I see here. Okay, I'll give it 5 mm. Now, as you can see here, now previously the Boss-Extrude came till this particular pyramid, but now what happens is it will stop at the next, the first solid body that it finds. So through all is the last solid body, and up to next is the first solid body that it finds, right? That's what up to next is. And next is up to vertex. Up to vertex works similarly the way it works in from. You just have to select a vertex till where you want the body to be extruded to. Up to vertex, select a vertex. Basically, it will extrude till that horizontal point. It's not exactly, it's gonna extrude till that point. It's basically now wherever your extrusion is, it's gonna extrude till the point that you have selected in a horizontal plane. Now I've selected this point, and then as you can see here, my extrusion is till that horizontal plane of the point. But if I select any other point, like I'll select this point, now again horizontal plane, and instead of that point I will select this point, right? Again, see, horizontal. So that's what up to vertex is. Up to surface is a very good one. Unlike solid bodies, it will only look for surface. You just have to select a surface and your extrusion will, extrude till that particular surface and then stop. I can either select solid body surface or just a surface from a surface body. It doesn't matter what surface, it just requires a surface. It can either be a surface, plane, it can be anything. It just has to be a surface, that's it. And next is offset from surface. Offset from surface is again a very different one. So let's say we know about offset from option, and the offset from surface works in a similar way. All you need to do is select offset from surface. Let's say I want my extrusion to start from this particular surface or this particular surface. I can, as you can see here, give me a minute. I will say 100 mm. You know what? Let's do this. I'll select this plane and I'll give 500 mm. So what happens now is, I don't think it's, yeah. You know what, I'll not go 500, I'll just go 100. Okay, so now what's happening is I have selected this particular plane in the option, and the option that I've chosen is offset from surface. Now the extrusion from this surface to the last point of extrusion is 100 mm. How do I know that? It's very simple. Go to blind. As you can see here, there's a clear difference. So the difference is nothing but the difference from this face to the plane. Now when you select offset from surface, what happens is your extrusion, the dimension that you give in the dimension box will start from that particular surface. It's not starting from your sketch plane, but it's starting from the surface that you have selected. That's what offset from surface is. It's not going to start offsetting the sketch itself, because that's in from's control. Your sketch is still going to start from the sketch plane, but what it does is the extrusion dimension that you have given will start from the plane that you have selected. That's what offset from surface is. Let's say I'll give it 50 now, right? And then I will okay, 50 is too small. I'll give 100 again. You know what, I'm going to go with 50, and this time I will reverse the direction. See, this is what is missing. So now why do you see this small thing is basically, if I go to front view, from the plane to the last point of extrusion is 50 mm. Basically it has reversed the direction. How do I prove it? Select this and select this, click on the measure tool, go to evaluate tab and click on measure. You can see the distance is 50. So that's what offset from surface is doing. It's basically I just had to reverse the direction to get the additional offset. If I still give 100, see, there won't be any extrusion because the distance from the plane to the face sketch plane is less than 100. But the thing is, the distance from the sketch plane to the selected plane is more than 50. That's why I can still see this extrusion. So that's what offset from surface is. Next is, okay, up to body is nothing but you just have to select a solid body till where you want your extrusion to happen. Now I can either select this pyramid, or I can select this, but you can only select one solid body. You cannot select two solid bodies here. That's what up to body is. So now that we know all the option in direction and from, let's move on to the draft. You can give draft inside the Boss-Extrude command itself. All you need to do is just enable this draft command, and your extrusion will now have draft, as you can see here. If I increase it to 2 degrees, as you can see, there's a clear difference between without draft and with draft. And this draft is not your overall draft, it's your one side draft. So it's basically the 2 degrees. Basically, let me show. Okay. 2 degrees too much. Let me just go with 1 degree now. Okay. What it means is the 1 degree is, so this is the draft that you have gotten now, right? And this was your normal, without draft. So the angle here is theta. Theta is nothing but 1 degree. So your overall draft is twice 2 theta, which is 2 degree. That's what draft is doing. And how do we know this is true or not? Is basically if you measure the angle here between this line and this line from front plane, you will get to know that it is the draft angle is basically 2 mm. And like since it's an ellipse, what I'll do is I will not I will create a new sketch so that it has a planar face. I will select angle. Now I will extrude this. Now what I'll do is I will extrude this up to next line. Now I will also give a draft of 2 degrees. So since it's one-sided draft, basically overall draft has to be 4 degrees. Now when I select these 2 planes and go to evaluate tab and then measure it, my draft, the angle between these 2 planes will be 4 degrees. As you can see here, it's 4 degrees. Like I said, theta and 2 theta. Your overall draft is 2 theta. So whenever you're giving a draft inside the Boss-Extrude command, make sure you're being very careful. And another thing is direction 2 is nothing but very similar to direction 1. In case you want another extrusion on the other side of your 3D viewport, basically on the negative y side, you just have to make sure you select this option and then click on whichever the option that you want. That's what direction 2 is. And you can decide which bodies that you want your extrusion to be merged with. Let's say now I want my extrusion to merge with whichever the body it's interacting with. All I have to do is just select all bodies. If I don't want my extrusion to merge with any body, I have to deselect this merge result option. When I do that, my extrusion is completely separate from the body from which is extruding and also the body through which it's being extruded. So you don't have to worry about that. It's completely saved as a new body here. As you can see, this is a completely new body. But in case I want my extrusion to merge with the base, what I should do is I should click on the merge result, and instead of auto select or all bodies, if I select auto select, what happens is it will just merge with everything. Okay, that's what it does. What I can do is I can go to select bodies and clear the selection and only select the body with which I want my extrusion to merge with. That's what it's doing. And let's say you don't want a solid extrusion. Let's say you want the outlines to be extruded only, you want a hollow part or something. What you should do is instead of direction 1 and 2, let direction 1 be there, and instead what you okay, this is what selected merging. This is how you selectively merge your solid bodies with other solid bodies. Now the last thing that I have in extrusion command to show is, we all know whenever we want to extrude something, it requires a closed profile, right? But you can extrude an open profile sketch as well. As you can see, this is an open profile sketch, as in it does not close. Now you cannot extrude a solid, you cannot extrude the inside of this rectangle that I sketched here. Why? Because it's open. But you can basically extrude a thin wall section wherever you see the blue line, not the dotted line, but the blue line, not the reference line. How to do that is just go to feature, click on extrude base boss, and now as you can see here, automatically the thin feature gets selected. Now what it's doing is it's giving thickness to the line, not the not the reference line, but the solid line. It is giving a thickness to the solid line, and you can vary that thickness. You can give it 5 mm, 2 mm, 1 mm, whatever the thickness you want. And also there are multiple options: one direction, two direction, mid plane. Mid plane is very similar to what we saw in direction 1, and two direction is basically you have to it's asymmetrical, thickening. So in one side, if you want 1 mm, you can give that. On the other side, you want 2 mm, you can you have the freedom to select the thickness based on your design. So this is how you extrude open sketch in SolidWorks. So now that's all there is in Boss-Extrude. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one.